All right, GladrapChannel, you're with Claire Hafner?
Yes,
is that how you pronounce
perfect,
it?
absolutely.
Welcome to New Zealand. First thing, tell us and the New Zealand viewers who you are and where you come from.
I live in Ottawa, Canada right now, and I box out of Montreal. I am originally from New York, so I'm a dual citizen now. I immigrated to Canada about 14 years ago.
Okay.
And became a true Canadian, like true and true as if I was born there. So I'm a very proud Canadian immigrant. And yeah, so Ottawa's the capital of Canada for those who don't know, and Montreal is our super European French city.
So is this like an American accent or is it a Canadian accent?
I think more Canadian.
Okay.
Americans say I sound very Canadian.
Okay.
Especially because I say A at the end of stuff. And then Canadians don't comment.
So you're ranked #1 on BoxRec in the world.
Yes.
With a record of 4-1.
Yeah.
And you're ranked higher on BoxRec than Geovana Peres. Does that give you more motivation when fighting for the world title?
No, it doesn't give me more motivation. What motivates me for the world title is that it's a world title, that Geovana is a great boxer, that she's tough, that here's an opportunity to put women's sports on the map even more. I think that's the motivation. I'm really bad at paying attention to the rankings and all that kind of hype around it. Mm-hmm. I'm more about the grind and the day-to-day and that kind of inspirational stuff, you know, just the people you meet and the people who are interested. Gotcha.
So we see on the map there isn't too much material out on you. So like, you know, like the fights you fought and much general information. Was that your plan, like going to this fight, sort of keeping low key, or?
Yeah, I think I've always been pretty low key, very, very low key. Train kind of quietly on my own, do my thing, very low profile at the gym, and just making sure that I'm not. I always want to make sure that like there wasn't a ton of my stuff out on social media, on the off chance that I had an opportunity to fight for something pretty big.
Okay.
And then the less information about yourself, nobody really knows what's coming, you know, and so you can be anything. You're not stuck in this kind of mold of what you have to be. Mm-hmm. So for me, that's exactly how I love it, and you know, it's weird that so many people are going to watch this fight, and now everybody's going to know how I box. But you know, you get to a certain point, and you can't just hide it anymore. So
have you watched much of Geovana Peres, like on YouTube? And
yeah, there's a lot of Geovana out there. So my team has been watching that for a while, and we've been working, and they know how to make the game plan. Yeah,
what do you make of Geovana Peres? Do you think she's worthy of being a WBO World Light Heavyweight Champion?
I definitely think so. I think, and just the thing that's important to remember too is to get to the WBO champion level, so much work goes in. And I know I sound like a broken record, but especially as a woman athlete. And I'm sure Geovana, like myself, has had to prove herself over and over and over and over again to the boxing world. And she has to grind twice as hard. She has to work twice as hard. She has to be twice as good as a lot of male boxers out there. So by the time you reach that level, you have put in so much work that I absolutely deserved. Yeah.
Did you see the Lonnie Daniels versus Geovana fight? And what did you think?
I did see parts of it. It was quite a battle.
Scrap?
Yeah, it was really good. I mean, such a great fight. Such a great fight. So definitely worthy. They're both exceptional. Okay.
Is this your first time in New Zealand?
It is my first time in New Zealand. Yeah, I haven't been farther east than India. So this is it's new for me.
And your coach, you mind telling us a little bit about him? I saw him there with a classy Claire hoodie on. Is that your coach? Or?
So that's I box in Montreal.
Okay.
So my coach is the guy in the gray.
Oh, in the gray. Okay, my bad.
He's my main coach, Ian. So Ian runs the gym where I box, Donnybrook boxing gym.
Okay.
So he's the main coach. He matches the fights. He has the game plan. Everything like that. And then the guy in the classy Claire hoodie, because I live in Ottawa but train with Ian in Montreal.
Okay.
He's my Ottawa technical trainer.
Got it. Okay.
So we work. So Ian gives us a game plan. This is what we're gonna do. So when I'm in Ottawa a couple days a week, I'm working with Jeffrey.
Okay.
And then when I go to Montreal, I'm working with Ian and then another trainer, Kenny, who couldn't be here. Okay. So they're a team of 3 actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Because I'm split between Ottawa and Montreal.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're an international fighter, traveling to the bottom of the world. This is an opportunity to become a world champion. Are you prepared to lay it on the line?
100%.
Yeah?
Yeah. I feel like every fight you have to lay it on the line. Because otherwise, what's the point of training? What's the point of like all the sacrifice of not having any friends, not being able to eat anything, if you don't get in there and give it 100% for you, for me, yeah, great. You want to fight for the audience, you want to put on a good show, but really it's just to prove to yourself that like you've done absolutely everything you can.
So just to backtrack a little bit, so what got you started in the sport? Like what made you interested in boxing?
I was I was powerlifting at a gym.
Okay.
And I was doing boxing for just cardio with my trainer.
Like pad work and
yeah,
okay.
and another trainer came up and said, "Oh, I'm opening a boxing gym and I want to train a female heavyweight. Are you interested?" And I'm like, "I don't know you. Sure, call me." And 6 months later, he called me. He's like, "I got my gym. Let's go." And so I had 20 years previously, walked into a boxing gym in Oakland.
Okay.
I think the old Andre Ward gym actually, and said, "Hey, I'm interested in boxing. It'd be a great way to get into super shape, and I like extreme sports." And they're like, "Yeah, you're a fat chick. Like, you're not going to go anywhere in boxing." So it was really discouraging and hurtful.
So you were a bit bigger back then, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was running marathons, but definitely bigger.
Okay.
So because distance running, I mean, you can be an athlete at any size, which I think surprises people.
Yeah.
You can be 190.
I'm looking at Andy Ruiz, right?
There you go.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. So when people are like, "Oh, dad bods win," I'm like, that guy's an athlete. That's just how his body looks when he's in the ultimate shape. So don't be dad bodding him. Like he works hard. So and I think today in society too, I mean, the UFC I have a little trouble with because they don't have women's weight divisions over 145.
Okay.
And I think that's so offensive. Like, are you telling me nobody wants to watch 160 pound, 170 pound? Like, Geovana and I are weighing in at 175.
Okay.
Like, why don't you want to watch that be an athlete? So I think most people look at a lot of women over 150 pounds and they're going to be like, "Oh, you're chubby, you're not an athlete, you're fat." So when I walked into this gym, because I didn't like weigh 150 or 130 and I'm a woman, this old miserable trainer was like, "Whatever."
That's a bit discouraging from Andre Ward's gym. Like, that's... Okay.
It was pretty...
So a bit of a chip on your shoulder from that, or?
I think...
It motivated
no,
you?
actually.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit of a motivator, but I just kind of shoved it aside because you just hear it a lot.
Okay.
You hear it a lot. I would have people say to me, "Oh, you run marathons?" Like, I think of marathon runners as, 110 pounds. And I'm like, how offensive. I want to say to you, "Oh, someone married you? You're ugly as..." Right? People just feel free to comment on your size or shape or weight when you're an athlete.
Yeah.
And it's pretty offensive. So I think it wasn't a one-time thing with that, but not so much a chip on my shoulder, but definitely it does come back every once in a while. And I'm very proud to represent women who are over 160 pounds, And it was a tough at first to be like a proud heavyweight. And whatever. My last fight I went up to 190 pounds and my athleticism was still like top of the line. So I just hope that message gets across, that like, athletes aren't one shape, one size.
Got you. You won, you fought and you won against amazing boxers, including former world number 1 Sonia Fox for the ABO American Female Heavyweight title, and former WBC World Champion contender Carlette Eval.
Yeah.
Do you feel those fights prepared you for this opportunity?
Yes, absolutely, and not just physically, but still the mental part
aspect,
of walking into the ring knowing I'm going in with someone who has way more experience, who's been in the game so much longer. Like, you really have to mentally be tough to be able to be confident through that and stick to your game plan.
Yeah.
So absolutely, like, every fight has led to the next fight, to the next fight.
Plus it's high caliber, right? It's elite level.
Yeah, it is really elite level.
Yeah.
And somebody told me that once as a female boxer. They said when you turn pro as a female, there are not going to be a lot of fights, but the climb is fast because there aren't a lot of you. And the people out there are pretty elite. So you might have 1 or 2 warm-up fights, and then you're going to have to start fighting like high-caliber people. And that was true. That was pretty good advice. A little terrifying, but good advice.
As part of the promotional work that Geovana did to promote the event, she did the world's first pad work training on top of the Sky Tower. Did you see the footage on Facebook?
I did see the footage. It was pretty cool. Yep.
Would you do that at the Sky Tower here or at Toronto CN Tower? Or would you do something like that?
I was in Toronto not long for training, and I was like, "Oh, we should go up and do our pad work up there."
Yeah.
But I mean, if for promo for women's sports, like if they needed that or they wanted that, that would be.
You're not afraid of heights, are you?
I am afraid of heights.
Oh, okay.
But I do skydiving.
Oh wow. Okay.
So it's a weird kind of
It's conquering the
mix.
fear.
It's conquering the fear, and also, you know, skydiving normalizes boxing a little, because that's adrenaline almost more than when you get in the ring. So when you get in the ring, and I get in the ring, and I'm like, why am I nervous? I've jumped out of a plane and like gone to the ground like at 1,000,000 miles an hour. So
It's a continual process, eh? Like the mind, it's like
it's not.
Yeah.
It will never stop.
Yeah.
Never stop. You have to keep working on it.
Yeah.
'Cause every fight is a new set of challenges,
Yeah.
both physical and mental.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so
yeah.
it's like, oh, I was great in that last fight. I had it all together, and like, oh, now they're all popping up all
Yeah.
this new stuff.
that's weird, right? Like you think once you've conquered it, like
Yeah.
that's it. But it's
But
sort of
it forces you, if you really are willing to work on it, forces you to keep growing
Yeah,
and changing and never being stagnant and never just resting on those laurels or the work you did for the last fight.
just a couple more. So what are you doing in New Zealand while you're here? Any leisurely activities? You know, Muriwai Beach, Kelly Tartan, Sky Tower. Any plans?
Well, the first couple days before the fight, we're gonna sit tight, get our training in, focus, probably explore Auckland on foot, walk around. There's an island,
Wahiki.
yeah. So
Yeah.
my friend lives there, so we
Okay.
might go spend a day there.
Okay.
And then
That's good. You got some friends around here.
it
as
is
well?
very nice
Yeah,
to
yeah.
have some local people,
Yeah.
friends. Yeah.
She's definitely coming for the fight.
She's coming for the fight. She's a boxer too.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
A name?
Kelly Garton. She.
Oh yeah. Okay. Okay.
yeah.
She's quite well known.
She's and so she's great. It's great
Okay.
to have her, and she boxed with me in Ottawa in my amateur days, so we go
Okay.
way back.
Just a quick one. Do you have any messages for your fans? You know, message to the New Zealand public, and a message for Geovana?
Let's see. I don't know if I have any fans, but I would like to say to the New Zealand public, like, it's thrilled to be here, and I really appreciate how you hype and promote women's sports. Like, that's awesome, and Canada, you might need to catch up. And also, Geovana, I'm looking forward to meeting you Friday in the ring. We're going to do this.
Boom. Thank you very much for your time, Claire.
Thank
it was nice to meet
Hey,
you. Yeah, it was a
thanks for
pleasure to
letting
meet
me
you.
just run off at the mouth.
Nah, that's all good. Thank you very much. Yeah.